welcome to Lawn Care Skull Sessions with Ben and BJ.
Pew, 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 pew.
I'm Ben from Cash Pro Australia, and I got my co-host Brenton from TBL Property Maintenance.
That's me.
Well, I was supposed to call you BJ, eh?
Whatever. Bam! People know my name now. Fuck.
Who the hell is Brenton?
That's me.
How you going, pal?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm alright. Still busy as a bee, but that's how I like it.
Yeah.
Coming off the back of our upsell episode.
Yeah, baby.
Which, I thought was a pretty cool topic.
Yeah.
In the sense that it can provide some insight for new people in the business, or even some oldies out there that, maybe it's just something they didn't know about.
And better, it provides money when you do it.
So, it's been obviously a huge part of our businesses.
Yep.
1 minute you're mowing a client, the next minute you're bloody pressure cleaning, doing all sorts of shit. Cleaning their bins, cleaning their toilets.
Yeah. We sort of busted out what we did, but we would still love to hear what you guys do to upsell. There's tons of people out there that have such varied businesses, so really, really want that feedback. We love it.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't mention was that
blowjobs.
No, like there's when we were talking. It just registered with me what you said. One thing that we didn't mention was like all the landscapers and stuff out there, because we know this is some of the stuff's just coming to me now on the back of the episode.
Yeah,
is that what's that dude who does the wood chopping?
Oh yeah, Craig Austin.
Yeah, sorry, I feel like an asshole for not remembering his name. But
dude, there's so many people we talk to. I think it was like after this, I think I've got like 35 messages to get back to.
Yeah, so let us know. We've had some feedback trickle in, but let us know some of the other things that you guys do to upsell.
That's huge, man. I was talking to Craig the other day, and he was absolutely pumping. He had like a full trailer load of wood chippity chopped, but man, do what you got to do to get through.
Now, before we get into the topic for today, we've got a little bit of housekeeping. We have a new review via Apple, or I don't know where it's from, but Apple Podcasts.
You know who it is? It's Big Rubes.
Ruby.
Ruby.
Great to see you here, Rubes, and thanks for dropping us a comment.
Yeah, right. He was struggling to find where to 5-star us. I saw him post on LMCA that he was on the struggle street trying to find where to post up. But, man, we love it. I'm happy you found it.
And what does he say?
He said, "Hey, fellas, been loving the podcast. I reckon I would have listened to you boys for 6 hours straight yesterday. Thought I'd try some American podcasts today. They're all right, but not the same. I don't really do much snow blowing in North Queensland. So I was back on there for 3 to 4 hours today, mixing it up also with some of Gary's Lawn Stars too. Going to be bummed when I run out of episodes to listen to. Listening to me on Catch Pro iTunes. Yeah, boy. Anyway, better put a bow on it. Peace." Fuck yeah, Rubes. Love it.
Thank you very much for that 5-star review. So,
and we're throwing 2 episodes at you a week, man. We can't do any more.
Well, we can do 1 a day if someone would bloody pay us.
Oh, bro.
So, no, that's good. We've got 45 ratings with an average rating of 5 stars, which is great.
That's really good.
It actually blew my mind. We're getting like 900 downloads a week.
What the fuck?
It's a great achievement for us.
Even after I dropped the C-bomb a couple of episodes back.
And didn't fucking edit an episode.
Didn't edit an episode.
What the hell?
My apologies for that. So it was a fucking dog of a weekend. I had a really bad weekend. I'll leave that for another episode. But it was a shocker. And I just lost focus for a second. And there were so many breaks in that episode. Normally we're doing all right, like straight shooting.
It's because the family was going in and out.
Yeah, we had to chippity chop it up. So I think all up there was about 6 breaks in that episode, and I got 4 of them and missed 2 of them. And then yeah.
Well, at least that wasn't the episode where I was abusing that person.
You still abused him in that episode too. I had to fucking. Okay. You know what I did though? I got tricky and I used a fart for his name. Just for you.
Just quickly, there was this slapdick, right? I'm not going to name him because I don't want to create any work for BJ.
Thank you.
But I'm full naming this dude, like first and last name. Oopsies. And BJ rings me. He's like, yeah, man, you named this dude. And I'm like, yeah, fucking oath I did. Fuck him. BJ's like, yeah, I know, but, like, it's defamation, all sorts of shit. And I was like, fuck that. I didn't give a fuck. And BJ's like, it's all right. I'll handle it. And I don't really listen to the episodes, but, I wanted to see how BJ would handle it. And you hear me going on me rant, hey, and I'm like, fuck this, James, fucking
and then I did a
yeah. So that was pretty funny.
Pretty crafty, I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah. See,
and then I go fuck one up completely.
And that's what I thought was funny because here you are, and you're like, nah, Benny, we're gonna have to edit this, and then good old next episode later, fuck it, we're not gonna edit anything. I'm gonna drop the C-bomb, and I'm gonna let you chat to your family in the middle of it.
Yeah, look, it was a bit of a slip up, but you know what? Shit happens. Move on. We're 2 episodes from that, and I'm just going to look forward and not look back.
See, if it was me, I would have put that fucker's name in the title. Listen today as Ben blows this dude away.
Fucking hell.
Not blowing him away.
You're so naughty, Ben.
Thank you for abusing me.
Yeah, maybe that's something that you might find you get off on, being abused.
No. All right. So, hey, something funny that happened on social media. This little Skag Toro thing, which is a bit of fun.
Yeah.
We had the whole bin thing, like, hey, who's got the biggest bin? And then it just escalated. And we got some photoshopping skills going.
I know.
And Greg Anderson's come back with a good old fancy red skip bin. And then I see, was it Centurino?
Yeah.
Come back with the orange bin.
James fancy name Centurino.
So, that's a little bit of fun.
That's not a bin. This is a bin.
Yeah. You call that a bin. Hey, I love it.
It's good. I don't mind it.
So it's good that it went from, because I think the initial stab was probably like, something a little bit kind of like real.
There's been plenty.
It's kind of like, hey, boss.
Yeah, it was
but then it's kind of like, well, hey,
we took the high road.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So.
I think it's where everyone should go. Like, everybody likes different machines. So.
Someone let us know. Obviously we have LMCA, which is Lawn Mowing Contractors Australia, and we have Aussie Lawn Contractors. Does anyone else kind of think it's time that we all become one?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, look, there's people on Aussie contractors that have beef. Like, in these communities, we can't all get along. There's people in LMCA who don't get along. Why not? And there's tons of members that are crossovers.
Yeah. Huge.
Obviously, you and I are in both groups.
Yeah.
But why not just be one big happy family again? Anyone who's a contractor and who is, because you have to be a contractor to be in these groups. If you're not a contractor, get the fuck out. I guess unless you're like a
contractor in Australia.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it then.
Yeah. Fucking do it.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Yeah. Come at me.
But no, I was going to say, unless you're like a supplier or a dealer.
Yeah.
We love you guys. You guys are allowed in there.
Yeah. You guys are cute. Okay. What? They are.
I don't know what I'm doing today.
Yeah. So, Benny, what is the topic for today?
Okay, so the topic today is going to be family work-life balance.
Yeah.
This kind of, piggybacks a little bit off the burnout episode. That one gained a lot of traction, and there's a lot of sidebar subtopics.
Yeah.
Jack Hamilton from up north, he reached out right away, and he's like, hey, be great to hear, your thoughts on the family work-life balance.
Yeah.
We know that this issue's come up so many times, in various platforms and discussions. Now, you and I both have families.
Yes.
We were able to make them.
We did. I did it with my own 2 hands.
And I did it in like half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I'm talking about had twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fuck. I didn't even think of that.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, good
You got to
on
be
you.
a clever dude to do that. Actually,
Yeah.
you don't have to be that clever because my twins are not identical, so there's nothing special about it. They're just two different people that came out at the same time.
Like at an elevator.
Oh, have a look at you. So, do you want to give us a quick rundown of, like, just quickly, like, how you cope at the moment? We don't want to really hear what your balance is like.
Yeah.
But is it an issue for you? Is it something that is easy for you to handle?
No, it is not. I would love to say that everything has run smoothly and I've been able to come off the tools a little bit and be able to spend more time at home, but it has not worked out at all. A lot of people probably have found themselves in the same position thinking, oh, like I'll start my own business and, I'll be home more. Yes, I'm home more. So my last job, I was on night shift. So I would be doing like 10, 12-hour shifts at night. So yes, I am more home in awake hours, but my brain is always working overtime. So what's happened lately is I did put someone on and it hasn't quite worked out perfectly. And I was planning on getting off the tools a little bit and becoming more of a manager in my business. Still going out every day, mowing and doing things like that, but not being 100% on the tools. And it's sort of been flipped on its head. And now I'm fucking out of control busy because I have set up for this to happen, and now because of someone's actions it can't happen. So yeah, it's a hard thing, man. It really is. Like we were looking forward to spending more time together with my wife and I.
More time together just pashing, eh?
Oh god, I'd love a good pash sesh. I actually said to the other day, I was like, when was the last time we just laid down and pashed? And I was like, oh, that was just not something I would ever say.
If I said that to my wife, she'd just tell me to fuck off.
I don't think I got that response. But yeah, it's hard, man. Like, because we got the 2-year-old. He's crazy. He's gone into kindy, so my wife and I, we were going to hang out on maybe one day a week with no kids, get all of our shit done that, banks up during the week, and then you have to do it on the weekend. So we were hoping to actually get it done in work time. I was hoping to get the podcast done in work time. Yeah, just little things that I was really hoping would happen haven't happened. I put things in place that maybe it will happen.
Yep.
But it's just, fuck, man, it's so painful.
Now, because like I remember when I was a full-time contractor and going through our busiest periods, I felt like I had a pretty good work-life balance. Don't get me wrong, if you have a young family and you're going out and you're really slogging yourself, because I remember, I just want to just paint the picture and see if anyone else out there, can relate in some way. But like I used to get up at like say 4:30 or 5 in the morning, leave around 5:30-ish, sometimes 6, but that would be my general on my site days.
Yeah.
And it's funny when I look back, I remember when I used to I used to get up, brekkie, brush your teeth, go to the toilet and leave. And I remember the no flushing the toilet thing. Did you want to wake up the household?
Oh my god! I get
Is that something that happens in every other household?
I
Or is that
get in
just
so much trouble.
or is that just my household?
Fucking walk out with a massive sturge in the door.
It just doesn't feel natural.
It does not feel good at all.
Now, I know me and my mates used to hang shits next to toilets, but if you hang one in a toilet and you don't flush it, it just doesn't feel right.
It feels horrible. And then, like, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but then I get a call in the middle of the day and I get one of these. Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah. No. So it was actually like agreed upon in my family. It's like, hey, Ben, when you go do your sturge, don't flush because it'll wake up the kids.
Just let it mellow.
It'll wake up the kids, and then by the time you get home and the kids are all like thrashed and everything, it's your problem. So I'm like,
gotta belt it down with a stick.
Okay, so I'll just leave the head sitting there.
Just give it a little toilet paper blanket so no one can see it if they look in.
Oh yeah.
No, I feel you, man. I have done that in the past.
But like I know, you know, for myself, times would definitely get challenging. Like, I remember there were times where, you know, on a really, like, I think it's probably usually those rain weeks where you're catching up and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when my kids were a little bit younger, they, you know, like, they would go to bed before I got home.
Yeah.
You know, they go to bed at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. This is when they're like fucking 2 years old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, it's crazy to sit there and think, like, you're no more than, like, say, half hour or 40 minutes from your home.
Yeah.
Like, that was in my case.
Yep.
I'm not even going to see my children today.
I know.
Because I'm fucking working.
Yeah.
What's doing with that?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And it can just be really stressful. Now, I also wanted to touch on something that maybe I haven't seen come up lately, but there's sort of been, like, you know, guys that, let's say you work all day, and let's face it, it's a physical business and it thrashes you, right? When you get home, you might be one of those dudes where maybe you're a gamer.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just not me, but, you know, you want to have a beer and play the PlayStation or something, and your wife's like, "Hey, fucking get up and do something. The kids are running ragged. The dishes need to be done. Dinner needs to be cooked. The washing's got to be done." And, you know, lots of families have issues and have troubles, you know, with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the wives, you know, whilst there's some awesome wives out there, not everyone understands. Like, they just think, like, oh, you've been out having fun all day. You know, you've been out with your workers fucking having fun. And it's like, it's, you know, like...
I'm lucky. Lou's been with me on site a couple of times. And one of the first times was when I first started my business, and we push mode. Well, I push mode a fucking quarter-acre block with a just an old 196, a reconditioned 196, a whippersnipper, and a rake, and I did fucking 3 7x5 trailer loads of grass out of this one property. The grass was like 9 foot high. It's my biggest cleanup, and she came and helped me rake. She said, "Not for me, never again." So she understands what it's like.
You know, on the flip side to that, I earlier on when I had children, when we had the twins, I sort of downsized my business a little bit, and because we'd be up all night feeding and stuff like that, I used to do, like, the 3 o'clock feed.
Yeah.
And because I had several commercial properties, I could actually go and hit those at, like, say, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I would come back at, like, 7 or 8 and maybe have, like, a little nippy nap and go back out. Like, I could be flexible like that. And I remember there would be situations where I'd be, say, home for a little bit during the day, and my wife would be like, "Hey, I've, you know, got to duck to the supermarket, or I've got to do this, or, you know, fuck it, I'm going out and have a cup of tea somewhere," or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I remember looking after my girls and thinking, like, fuck this, I want to go out mowing.
Yeah.
Like, I was on the other side.
You want to make money, like, you want to make that.
No, I just didn't want to look after my children.
Fair enough.
No, real deal. Like, you know, I'm hoping that there's other people out there that can relate. But, like, I think one day it was like 8 o'clock and they'd already played with every single toy in the house. They're screaming at me for food, and you cut up all this fruit and you give it to them, and they just, you know, don't eat any of it, or throw it on the floor, or they fucking do a shit and they got sturge halfway up their nappy. You know, all of these things. And I'm like, well, man, I can go and get shit on me out there and get paid for it. So, you know, it's tough.
Yeah.
It really is tough.
Now, look, I had a little bit of a whinge before, but it's a lot better than it was. Even we had 2 kids, so
you've just realised that, like, all of the things that we've gone through, like, it's all starting to because let's just, yeah, and this is a freestyle, but
man,
you've got a disabled daughter.
So that's where I was going. So Isabella had she had a colostomy bag for 10 years. So when she was younger, she lost almost all of her large bowel due to necrosis. Like, it basically rotted inside her when she was a couple of days old, and she had to have a colostomy to survive. So she got older, she got bigger, she got healthier, and the doctors all said, we can like, she can get closed up, like, she can go to the toilet normally, blah, blah. Didn't tell us what it was going to be like. Like, dude, like, this was crazy. Like, she was in so much pain. They just were giving us like 250ml bottles of oxycodone just to slam her with, and she still would scream half the night, like in pain, like just cramps and stuff, to the point where, like, I'm a pretty thick-skinned dude, but I pulled over one day and I cried for about an hour and a half just on the side of the road, just absolutely distraught. I didn't really want to talk to anyone. I was just so fucking exhausted and I didn't know what to do. And there was nothing you can do. And that's how...
Yeah, sometimes you just need to release it.
Yeah, you just got to do what you got to do to get through. And that's what I did. I literally pulled up outside of a fucking acreage job that I was doing. And I just sat there and I saw a text come up on my phone. Is everything all right? And I was like, I'm just having lunch, motherfuckers. Leave me alone. So,
see, I feel like it was me, instead of like... you know, say crying or something, I feel like I'd break something. Like I'd break something near me, like,
yeah,
you know, like, where is this?
Oh, man. Like there's honestly been times where, you know, that was sort of the roughest period, and that's when my business almost folded. That was probably one of the hardest times in our life, besides when she was sick. So when she was born, I should say. So when she was born, like, I was working for another company, so they were dicks about it too. She was in hospital for the first 6.5 months of her life. And this was my work-life balance. So I would wake up, I'd go to work at, like, early. I'd work no breaks, nothing. Like, even though they told me I had to have a break, I didn't have a break. Clocked out, went straight to the hospital, slept in a recliner for an hour or two, spent as much time with Ella as I could. Took my wife home, who had been there since 6 o'clock in the morning, and we both, like, just got home and tried to find something for dinner and passed out and did the whole thing. 6.5 months of absolute, like, hell. It sucked. I got to 100 nearly 150 kilos. I was eating out of vending machines, just fucking whatever I could. So
sounds like me now.
So yeah, like, real talk, it was a bad time, but, you know, it kind of sort of showed that there's a light at the end of most tunnels.
Yeah, and so this episode, like, is really not to say, okay, this is what I would do, or this is what you should do or shouldn't do. It's just to really talk about the types of struggles that people can have, and to just say, like, if you're feeling it, you're probably not alone.
No, 100%.
So, you know, some people probably don't understand this just because I am always here, but, like, sometimes with Catch Pro, because my work-life balance is a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah.
I was always lucky enough that I could come home around 3 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'm a really outdoorsy person, so, you know, one thing that I found, because, like, you know, let's not beat around the bush, right? Playing with kids kind of sucks, right? In a sense that you can have fun for like 5 minutes, you know, jumping on a trampoline, or, you know, you can kind of throw around a ball for a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, it's not that fun. Like, you know,
when they get older, it's all right, but it's like...
Yeah, I mean, even now, I'm sort of like, my girls are at the stage like, Dad, stop trying to be cool. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm way cooler than you. And like, they don't understand, like, I don't need to... Cool people don't say that they're cool, right?
Nah.
So it's like, I don't say nothing. And they're like, see, you're not even backing yourself up. And it's like, cool people don't do
how
that.
many followers do you have, Dad?
Yeah. You got grey hair, Dad.
You got no hair, Dad. Oh.
But what I was getting at is that I always was an outdoorsy person. Obviously, I'm a smoker. Love me coffee. So, like, I would just give the missos a break, let her just chill upstairs and maybe high-five herself. I don't know. I don't know if that's happening. I didn't say that. But I'd take the twins downstairs and, you know, I'd just fucking set them up in a pile of mud. Yep. I'd sit there, have a durry. Then I'd pot around and I'd be doing my gardens. And when they're little, they don't see it as work. They're just like, I'm doing what Dad's doing.
Yeah.
And then I used to give them I used to give him little scissors. And so, like, I'd set him up with a little spy. I got videos of it. It's cute as hell. You can see, they look like my little slaves. Like, you can see them and they're getting right into it. And what's funny about watching a child do these things is the form. Like, when they're picking up stuff.
Yeah.
Because they haven't learnt, like, all of the bad habits. Their form is, like, perfect. And I remember I used to sit with some of my workers and I'd be like, look at the form on her.
Yeah, you should
lifting
record
up
it and use that as like your instructional video to work safe.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that's what they do in like some Asian countries and stuff. Like,
really?
You know how Asians just have awesome form?
Yeah.
Like everything that they do is just perfect. It's kind of like when you're watching like a 3-year-old. You must see it all the time with Archie, right?
Man, like with Archie now. So your girls used to like to do stuff with you. Archie is quite, hey dad, we're drawing now. And he'll be like point to it because he's got a cubby house and dad has to climb up because I had to board off one side because he fucking almost jumped off the side of this, I don't know, 5-foot cubby house. So dad has to climb up the slide, which is quite cumbersome on the way up. It doesn't look good.
No, hey, this dude is way more agile than what people think, right? Now, we're getting older.
Yeah.
But give yourself some credit.
Okay, so I am a little bit agile, but I don't know if I'd be able to do the splits still. I might need a
Let
bit
us
of a
know if
system.
anyone wants to see it. We could put that up as a reel on the Skull Sessions page.
Yeah, well, I got the big bag.
Who would you rather see, D Scarlett do the splits or BJ?
I don't know if I'd make it all the way these days. But yeah, he's not like your girls. So he'll go from drawing and then I'll go up and I'll draw Peppa Pig and they'll be like, yeah, sick. Now we're swinging. So he'll run down and he'll be like shaking the swing at me. So I'll have to go down the slide and, you know, I only get to give Lou like maybe fucking 20 minutes a piece before he hurts himself because he's just all over the place.
Yeah, and, you know, now that, you know, like I'm around a lot of the time, but it's difficult because, like, I'm always taking phone calls or I've always got some really important business that I have to handle and I can't always do things when they're around. But, you know, sometimes, and some people who follow some of our stuff, you know, would see this, sometimes, like, I'm setting them up with stickers to cut or pieces of metal to clean.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes we put, you know, kids show on YouTube, and at least they can sit there and watch that and, you know, we can talk and, you know, do stuff like that. Sometimes it's the only chances that we get.
Yeah.
In the really busy periods.
I always intend on, like, getting Chloe to, she's my middle girl, to help me with my TikToks because she's really good at it. I'm like, can you help me? And then I get, like, real embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to do a video anymore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still learning all that stuff.
I don't get embarrassed easily, but when it comes to my kids, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to fucking put them through that. Even if it is just like a review of something, I'm like, nah, I get nervous. Like, it's easier to do things by yourself or with you. Like, I can do whatever with you, whatever. But
have a look at you.
Yeah, fiending.
So we sort of talked a little bit about children. Now, what about your partner? Whether that's a wife or a husband or you know, whatever the case may be, whatever team you're batting for.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes this self-employed stuff can lead to some hardships. You know, sometimes personal, sometimes business, what have you. Now, I'm really lucky in the sense that, like, I've been with my wife since we were, like, I don't know, like 18.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't have fucking anything before. Like, she was already with me before I had anything at all.
Yeah.
And we went a long time with nothing. So, the expectations were not very high. And we grew everything that we have together.
Yeah.
And we sort of, you know, became friends. Now, it's tough. I'm sure that you know...
It's very similar. I didn't have much when I met Lou.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is, like, Vicky is, like, you know, one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget, you know, because I don't talk to anyone, you know, like, it's not like we've got, like, mates that we hang out with.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, when I'm just lost at the moment, I end up, like, almost saying real dumb shit to my wife, like, oh, you should have seen this fucking hot-ass chick today. I'm like, oopsie whoopsies.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Like, do you ever have moments like that where you kind of just, or are you just like, no, Ben, I'm not as dumb as that?
No, I'm pretty dumb. But my wife is really good. Like,
she's loose.
she
She'll
has to be.
She'll even tell you. She'll be like, oh, I saw a hot chick today.
Oh my God, one time she made me sit outside an IGA because some chick walked in there and she goes, you have to stay here. A woman with the biggest boobies you have ever seen just walked in there and she made me wait. And my God, biggest boobies I've ever seen in my life. So thank you, Lou, for that. You're an amazing woman.
Yeah, so, no, that's funny. But, like...
She's my genuine bestie. Like, I just couldn't think of, like, doing anything without her. Like, I'm going to Melbourne, like, well, when this drops, I would be back from Melbourne. Well, no, I'm probably hungover right now. But, yeah, so I'm not going with her. And the first thing when everyone asks, like, oh, how's it going to go? I'm like, oh, I won't have my mum with me. I've never really done anything without her, so
and like, you know, to the contractors out there that don't have a partner, or don't have a wife, girlfriend, or whatever the case is, at least you'll know what is ahead of you.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, back to the mum comment. Like, I remember, I think my wife might have been having a conversation with my kids, like, you know, who's mum, who's dad, you know, and then it's like, who's dad's mum? And they're like, you?
They know.
Yeah. So what I wanted to talk about is, like, that not just the family life work balance, but the family wife work balance.
Yeah.
See what I bloody did there?
You did that really well.
Now, I am probably going to be a little bit harsh, a little bit critical. I've always been a proactive person.
Yeah.
So I don't like to sit down very much.
I know.
And I don't like to chill unless I kind of know that I've handled everything.
Yeah.
Or at least have a plan to handle it later.
Yeah.
So, you know, one exception might be if there's an NBA game on and I'm working, or it's a weekend, I might watch that game at 1 o'clock in the day. But if it takes me 2 hours to do it, you can bet your fucking bottom dollar that from 3 till 7, I'll be the most proactive motherfucker in the house.
Yeah.
And it's just who I am. Yeah. Now, not everyone's like that. Some people
Was
like
it the same when you were on the tools all the time?
It could, you'd never see me. Look, I got to be honest. I don't think that I would ever. I mean, I couldn't think of a time where I've ever watched TV during the day.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not like one of these dudes. Like, man, I can get amongst me TV.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't feel like I can relax until I've done everything that I need to do for that day. Yeah. But I do want to say that I know, like, you know, some relationships, there's tension because you've been out all day. You know, you've been working, you're hot, your feet are sore. Sometimes you just want to chill, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that that there's not that much difference between someone sitting in their lounge room with their feet up compared to, say, me sitting on the lawn or the daybed. Like, I do those things too. It's just that, you know, with the children and stuff like that, rather than, you know, being cooped up, they can be on a swing while I'm sitting down. Or, you know, and I'm not telling anyone to be like me at all. But what I am saying is that, you know, some of the wives out there, while they've been at home with the children and, you know, they're cleaning up the shitty nappies and, you know, they're doing all this stuff, you might have been out with one of your workers. You know, you guys get to you talk shit.
With your own children.
yeah, with your own children, right? They don't always see it as like, hey, you've been busting your ass all day.
Yeah.
So then when you get home, it's like, oi, I'm still working.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to, the kids just got home from school. I've got to unpack this. I've got to unpack the lunches. Then all their fucking clothes are on the floor. Then we've got to get dinner. Then they've got to be bathed. Then we've got to do the homework. Hey, that is family life, right? Yeah. And so I do think, like, a happy life means a happy wife. And, you know, I do think that, yes, even though you have been working out all day, you know, there can be a little bit of recovery time.
Yeah.
But then you got to get amongst it. It's a team effort.
Well, we have a bit of a routine. So I'll get home from work. I do aim to be home at 3. But that very rarely happens. So I'll probably get home at like 4:30. Sometimes close to 5. But whatever time we get home, unless it's like, you know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, we will make a coffee and we'll go and sit down together and we'll debrief the day. We could talk all the shit we want. You're like, fucking Archer shit on the walls today. Fucking, you know, he threw the cat down the stairs or something random. You know, shit always happens when you got a 2-year-old, and that's kind of our time to take a breath. Now, if the kids are going nuts when that is happening, that's when we start to get a bit fried. Like our you know, couple of minutes of, you know, togetherness when we're having our coffee, that's like the best part of my day. I'm like, so how was your day? And we'll have a chat. The debrief thing actually works for us. I think when we don't get that, is like, oh, or when one of us isn't feeling great, we're like, I don't think I should have another coffee. It's like, what am I going to do?
I'll tell you one crazy thing about my life at the moment is, you know, I'll be in the shed, building, emailing, wrapping orders, doing all sorts of stuff, and like maybe my dad or even a friend or what have you, someone might ring and they'll be like, oh, you know, you're free to do this, and I'll be like, oh, I'll touch base with Vicky, and they're like, all right, I'll swing her a text.
Yeah.
And they're like I remember my dad was like, what, was she out? I'm like, no, she's in the house, like doing something. And I was like, or I'll talk to her tonight, like once we've all showered and stuff. And he's like, why don't you just fucking go and talk to her now? I'm like, because I'm fucking busy as shit, man.
It's,
like,
yeah.
You know, like, and it's just like, it's just weird. And, you know, for someone who's old school, it's probably like, man, why don't you just go up and have a conversation with her?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't. Like, as soon as I open up my mouth, I've got a kid like, hey, Dad, can I have ice cream? Or, hey, can I do this? And it's like,
you just got to focus on and get that one thing done. Like, that's where I find maintenance really hard at home at the moment, because I don't have my shed. It's fucking coming. But, like I just can't get it all done without something being a distraction. Archer's found that he can throw really well, and now he started aiming out of windows. So we've got like an older style house, and I rocked in home yesterday and there's all these balls out in the driveway. I'm like, the fuck is going on here? And look, turns out he likes throwing things out the window. So now we got to get the screens on him, because fucking next will be him going out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So can I talk about, you know, like, all right, I'm just gonna say some personal shit about me, right? So let's say I've decided that tonight would be a good night to snuggle with my wife.
Yes.
Usually, you know, because it's not very organic in my household, like I kind of have to plan for that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we got podcast on one night, the girls have gym training on another night, I play basketball on another night. You know, it can't just happen all the time. Sometimes I have to plan for this shit, right? Usually once I've made that decision now, there's probably women, if they're listening out there, who are thinking like, oh, Ben's just decided he wants to do this, so his wife just has to lay there. But it's not like that. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is I'm going to approach my wife for this, right?
From behind.
Whether or not, again, it's a different story. But one thing is, like, I've made the decision, okay, I'm going to try and get a root tonight.
To put it bluntly.
And so, you know, like, I'll try and help out around the house in the sense that, like, I might, you know, no, but what I mean, and like my wife, she'll recognize and she'll be like, oh, okay, you obviously want a root tonight. And it's like, but look, if I help you on these other nights and I haven't made the decision that I'm doing this, like, I'll never get anything done. Yeah. You know, like the emails won't get done, the invoicing won't get done, this won't get done. And so I've set this time aside, and if you do this thing for me, I'm going to help out around here. Now, I can I can only assume how this is sounding.
But
It
relationships
really,
are all about give and take.
it really is true. Like, hey, if I can, help out there, then I can get out of the office earlier that night.
Yeah.
If I decide I'm going to work and do all this stuff, by the time I get in there, you're not going to want anything to do with me anyway.
And look, let's all be honest. Like, most of us are adults that are listening.
Well, it's not that I've just like met Vicky and I have to take her for a fucking walk on the beach or anything.
Yeah, no.
I just walk in there and mate, she's mine.
I have to whop for my wife. But like, how much better do you feel?
What do you mean?
Not after you've whopped. Fuck, that hurt my back. But no, after you fucking have a little bit of coitus.
Well, I mean, look,
it just takes a bit of pressure off. Get to have some fun.
It's
didn't cost you nothing.
It's kind of like a reset for me. It's kind of like, hey, I need this. Like, I need to chill. I need to be relaxed. I need to be with someone.
And it's a fucking huge part of work-life balance because...
And what I am also getting at as well, like, it's not like I've worked and I've come home and played PlayStation for 4 hours and done nothing else around the house. That's what I'm really talking about in terms of justifying it or whatever. I try and be as proactive as I can.
Yeah.
And, I'm lucky that my wife can see that. And then, it helps her mood.
Yeah.
Because then she's not all run down and fucked up.
Yeah. Because,
I've been able to take some pressure off in certain areas. So, and I'm not telling anyone to be like me or whatever. But
as every podcast we do, these are just our experiences and what we do. Like,
and it's just like...
And you can't say that we are not honest when it comes to fucking podcasting. We are honest. Maybe we should do a men's helpline or something like that. Fucking we get taken off the air.
Well, I mean, look, all of the, like I said, some of these topics, they're springing off the back of that burnout stuff. And so, like, the business side of things is one thing. We can tell people to make all the right decisions in the world. Whether they action those decisions or, whatever is completely up to them. At least if we're talking about our own experiences, they can either relate to it and be like, oh, okay, my life isn't so fucked up. These guys are living through it as well.
Yeah.
Or, it can be like, oh, I didn't realize that if I get home and lock myself in my shed and play the PlayStation for 4 hours, that's not going to help any situations.
Yeah.
So...
and you know what? Sometimes you just need to do that. Sometimes maybe you've had a really rough day and like, that would probably be picked up by a partner as well. Like, fuck, he must have had a fucked up day if he's out there playing PS, fucking shooting people on Red Dead Redemption or something. Now, I used to love playing video games. I used to use it as like a wind down tool, but I don't have any time.
The only reason why, like, I could just never relate is, like, I couldn't imagine... It's the same reason why I wouldn't... I don't watch TV unless my kids are in bed, right?
Yeah.
I will watch an NBA game.
I watch
and the
Peppa
girls
Pig sometimes.
Oh, man, I used to watch the kids' shows like a motherfucker.
Yeah, Bluey and Peppa Pig.
Yo Gabba Gabba.
And Ben and Holly's Magical Kingdom.
Nah, see, this is all the new shit.
No, it's not that new. Shit. And it's like the people who make Ben and Holly's make Peppa Pig, so it's all like the same voices. And they're kind of funny. They throw some adult stuff in there too.
Yeah.
Complete sidebar there, but having a 2-year-old, I'm fucking back in that world. And because Ella is quite severely disabled, I've never really come out of that world.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm fucking in that world. I fucking play school. I could pretty much sing you the whole repertoire of the Wiggles.
At least you got a boy, like, I'm trying to, like, watch, like, my kids are, like, 9 now, and I'm trying to watch, like, all the mad, like, Sandlot Kids, Mighty Ducks, like, all the mad shit that I used to watch. And I'm like, the hell is this?
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes Mia can get amongst it, but Macy's just like, I don't get it.
Oh, man, it's so different too.
And I'm like, Macy, ducks fly forever.
Yeah. Quack, quack, quack. No, it's weird having a boy. I will admit, after having 2 girls, it's completely different. he's like a bit of a grub. Like, he loves getting dirty. Like, Chloe's a girl's girl, and Archie seems to be a boy's boy.
Oh man, my girls are nasty as.
He's like, he's just like,
my girls are like boys.
Yeah. He's wild.
So no, look, I really do hope this topic can help some people out there. You know, maybe if you are going through, you know, like some of these issues, you know, sometimes it's just as simple as like a little bit of a schedule flick.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you're a solo operator, you can take the kids to school.
Yeah.
Which for me would completely fuck up my life.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I'm an early dude. I like to get out.
Like, I started doing it a little bit, and then I realised it was actually just becoming a disruption. Like, the first few times it was like, yeah, Dad's taking us to school. And then it kind of became like, Dad's taking us to school, let's take advantage of him. Like,
Macca's for breakfast.
Yeah, you know, things like that. And it kind of became, like it was messing up their routine.
Well, I took Archie to kindy on maybe his third go.
Any good kindy mums?
No, I didn't see any. But
lies.
No, I did. Honestly,
Okay.
There were none. But only my wife.
Oh yeah.
Smooth criminal. No, he went berserk. Like, he was not happy that I was there. I was like messing around with his routine. So I'm not allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah, like if I go and pick up my kids in the arvo, which would only really ever happen if like there was like my missus was stuck somewhere or whatever the case is. But like as soon as my kids would see me, they'd be like, why's mum not here?
Yeah,
what's wrong with mum? Is mum dead?
Just like I'll go and pick up Chloe from school, like from her school, and she'll be like, where's mum? I'm like, not here.
Yeah. And poor Mace, she gets like mega anxious. So straight away, she'd just be like, where's mum? Is she dead?
Oh.
And I'd be like, yes, Macy, she's gone. Oh. She's gone to a better place.
Yeah, she's at McDonald's.
So, but like, is there any other sort of things that you can touch on? Like, I know you said that, you know, one thing that you guys do is, you know, come home, have a coffee and, you know, touch base.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Sometimes, mate, we just, you know, because I'm here building.
Yep.
I need some fresh air. Sometimes, you know, at one part of the day, usually in the afternoon, I say, hey, do you want to just like go for a drive?
Yeah.
And sometimes we just go for a waterfront cruise or just, you know, it just gives you a minute to, it almost always ends in disaster because, you know, like the girls want to bring their iPads and stuff like that. But the point of it is like we're just trying to get out as a family. One thing that I have always done, not sure what you guys do at your household, but we always eat dinner as a family at the table.
Yeah.
Do you do that or no?
No, for the simple reason that...
well, I mean, Archie's little, so he probably eats at like 5.
So, yeah, we normally will cook them all dinner, and so, like, we'll jump straight in the shower with Archie, get him all sorted, then he goes.
Do you shower with him?
Yeah. Yeah, he's peed on me way too many times.
Because I don't shower with my kids anymore, like, just because... Like, I'm not weird about it.
Yeah, no.
Like, at all. It's just that, like, there's just not... Like, I'm just too dirty. Like, there's not enough room for me to clean myself.
That's... I normally get in 5 minutes before and have a quick wash.
I could probably do it with Nelly. She's 6.
Yeah.
But, like, the twins are like 9.5 now.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not... Like I said, it's not weird, but I just feel like maybe it would be sort of getting to... Well, how old's Chloe?
She's 11.
Okay, that could be weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
But it's not weird. It's only weird if you make it weird.
Yeah. But I like...
Like, I jump in the pool nude with the kids and swim around and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, I'll watch you.
And it's... and like it just feels normal.
Yeah,
but,
no, fucking Archer will stand in front of me and he's like, wee wee, just pulling fucking foreskin to its max capacity.
Have a look at you. That is bloody classic.
He's he's gonna be such a character. Like, we can already see it. Like, he just throws side eyes at us and shit. Like, he's just such a mini me.
I want to tell you a quick story. I don't have boys, right? But my dad was telling me a story, and like I've got a really good relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
I'm close with him, but it's always been father and son. It's never been like, like I don't feel that comfortable, like fully swearing or, talking about sex stuff. Like it's, hey dad, and we just got that type of relationship. Anyway, my dad is nothing like me. Like he's always played by the rules and very respectful and, things like that. Whereas I tend to toe the line on some of those things. Anyway, my sister has 3 boys now, but 2 boys at the time. And Jesse was, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. Or maybe younger, I'm not sure. And he's just sitting there, and in our family, we're Dutch, and even though my parents are Australian, they're still called Orpa and Orpa to all the grandkids.
Yep.
And so, Jesse's sitting there, and he must have been playing with his willy, and he's like, oh, Orpa, he's doing something, and my Orpa's sitting there, he's like, all right, Jesse. And then he's like, oh, I can make her do this, and, he's sort of like... Okay, Jesse, and he's like, it's getting all hard.
And all poor dad, like, I know your dad.
Like, okay, Jesse, and I can only imagine, and I remember, and I know, like, my sister's told me stories, she's like, oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine, like, if I had a boy, like, the things that I do to Vic, and you've got all that beautiful goodness, coming your way, and holy moly, I know you're a loose cannon.
Yeah. So I think that's it for us.
You've got to tone it down with Archie, because he's going to learn some shit.
I think he has pulled the pin on our children, future children. He's such a full-on little dude, which is like he is just a mile away from any of the kids that I know. So, I think Dr. Dick's going to get a call. He's coming in with the snip, and I don't know. It's my wife has hinted that she wants another one, but I'm like, I'll fucking die. I'll die.
Nah, I can't.
And she's like, what are you talking about? You don't have to do anything. I'm like, well, fucking not straight away. Like, I don't have to birth the child, but I do have to kind of supplement the parenting there.
Nah, man.
She'd be doing most of it, like 100%. Like
Who is it? Steve Ween from Chromo. He's got like 6 children or something.
Fucking high five to that guy.
I mean, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah. What about blended families when like people meet?
I think it's a blended family.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Like,
so it's even worse. You can't like belt them or anything. I don't know.
I don't think you can belt any kids anymore.
Fuck that. I still hit my kids.
Oh, I fight mine. He's like,
no, I don't care. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I lock them in a room and bash them.
Nah.
But if they're naughty, I've always found instead of hitting them, I'll grab them.
Yeah.
Give them a good little shake.
Just like a panic, like, oh, fuck, he's got me.
Just let them know, like, you fuck up again, you little...
Fuck. Work-life balance. I haven't had to do that.
People are way too precious, man. Like, I did have someone say, like I was pointing at my kid at a park one day. I can't remember if she threw sand on a kid or something, and I was like, wait, you do that again, right? I really come down hard. Didn't hit her or anything. And I see this lady looking at me, and she ended up saying a comment, and I was like, this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Get out of my business.
Oh my god. I can't even deal with. So, like
this whole episode is a sidebar.
It really is like a big sidebar. So my daughter, severely disabled. It's like having a gigantic baby.
We're talking about Ella, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The looks that I get taking her into a parent's room to change her, because being in the disability community, there is fuck all for us. Like, for older kids, like, who need full care, like, it's so hard to take her out. Like, most of the time, we have to go back to our car to change her if anything happens. Places like Australia Zoo, fucking hats off to them. They have a full facility, and like, that's where we'll go. If we're going, we'll go to Australia Zoo and pay fucking $7,000 to go through there. But
and also get sunburnt to shit.
Yeah, and fucking heat stroke to boot. But yeah, so some of the looks I've had, like changing her, and even carers have had the same sort of looks that take her out and say, fucking, people look down on you, like you're changing a kid. Like, it's
I've even had people looking at me gross, like, my kids still look like little girls.
Yeah.
Even though they're 9. They still look like they don't look like a teenager.
Yeah.
We went to South Bank the other night, and it was pretty crazy. One of my daughters was like, "Hey, Mum, I need to go to the toilet," and I always need to piss. So I was like, "That's cool. I'll take you."
Yeah.
And like, I wanted to take her into the men's with me.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, "No, I don't want to." And so like, I just took her to the female toilet, and I wasn't going to leave her there. So, you know, like, I was just kind of waiting there, and boy, oh boy, the looks I was getting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thinking like, man, if I was going to rape someone, it's not like I'd be just casually standing here waiting for someone. You know, like...
So Lou told me a story. So Chloe is gorgeous. She got her hair cut the other day, and she does aerobics dancing and cheer. So she's always wearing, like, you know, tights and crop tops and stuff like that, and she's a little bit taller. And apparently yesterday some guys in a ute pulled up next to our car, and they full did the big sneak up and look, and I was like, I almost spewed on myself when Lou told me. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know, do something, buy a gun.
Just a
baseball bat with steel fucking razor wire on it, just taped to the roof of the car. This is yours if you look.
Or just do like the pepper spray, like, stand back, motherfucker.
Maybe I should just put a nude photo of myself on the side of the car.
Maybe just bukkake them. All right.
That'll put them off.
So, yeah, I mean, look, with this family work-life balance, look, I know that there's always going to be challenges, you know, especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much if I can give advice, you know, if there is people out there looking for advice, even if you could just spend, I reckon it only takes 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
To, you know, maybe that's a dinner. Like you said, you guys don't, you know, you got a 2-year-old, Ella's disabled. It's a little bit difficult to have like a family dinner in that environment. We've been really lucky in the sense that we've sort of conditioned our girls to eat, you know, in the early arvo. We've usually had dinner by 6.
Yeah, nice.
And, you know, I like to eat around that time as well because, you know, sort of I'll have lunch. And I don't have anything else. I don't have afternoon tea or anything else. So I'm usually hungry about then.
Yeah.
And I've always found that I feel more complete when I've been able to have... Now, don't get me wrong. Our dinner times, like when Rusty lived with us, it was a madhouse.
Yeah.
You know, bloody kids not wanting to eat something, and, you know, someone knocks over their glass. Like, it's, you know, even if it's not a happy time, at least you are together.
Yeah.
And it sort of is almost that little bit of that reset that we talk about.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, it's like, okay, I've had my dinner, you know, go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with them. It's kind of like, all right, you've had your dinner, you've had your bath, it's wind down time.
Yeah.
Rudder. So
I think if any advice I can give is if you really are struggling with it, then talk to your partner and see if maybe you can shuffle work around. I mean, there's nothing worse than, you know...
Or do a 69er.
Yeah, that'll fix everything. Fuck. No,
look at me.
Yeah, fucking just creepy fucking slow hat. No, but seriously, just if you really are finding that it is becoming an issue, I think look at your work situation, because if you can make even an extra hour or even 2 hours a week to spend with your wife or your kids or both, I think it's totally worth it. I mean, if you drop $60, $70 every 2 days or something, I mean, unless you're really desperate, then I think it's really worth, you know, spending that extra time with your family, because you can't get it back. That's why I'm really happy. Like, I do.
That's such a wise thing to say.
I do look back and think, like, I really, with the night shift thing, I could go days without seeing my kids because I would fucking go to sleep when they woke up.
That's crazy, man.
So it was horrible. Like, it really, I should never complain about what I have now because, but I am physically fucking ruined when I get home. And that's why even though we've had a big speed bump and shit's not going right now, I do have a goal, like an end goal, and I'm just going to keep working towards that until it make it happen. And
now, I can't remember if we said that we were going to wrap it up or not, but do you physically take holidays?
no,
Because neither do I.
no, it's silly. I should, but
Well, okay, I'm sort of in the, like, when I say I don't take holidays, I don't.
Yeah.
But we might say go to Stratty for a weekend.
yeah,
Or, well, that's probably it. We probably haven't done much more than that. But, like, I always feel, this is going to sound awful. I always feel like when you go on a holiday, I, like, need a holiday from my holiday once I get back because it is so stressful.
when was the last time you and your wife had a holiday? Just you two?
We went to New Zealand
Fuck, this is going to be a long time ago.
before the kids, so 10 years ago.
And that's the last time you had a holiday together, just you two?
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
Now we are we've done a night at Stratty, or but look, we're a classic example of a family. Like, I love doing things with the kids.
Yeah.
Vicky would probably prefer to go away with me, but like, there's only so many things like I love doing, like, I play with the kids, I take them body surfing, or, you know, we go swimming in a creek somewhere, or, you know, like, I'm kind of like a big kid.
Yeah.
When I'm with my wife, it's like, you know, after we kind of fuck, it's like, well, you know, hey, do you want to bloody play basketball with me? I don't think so.
Dude, I'm a complete, like, I love my kids to death, don't get me wrong, but I love going away with my wife. So back when I first started the business, because I got fucked up in that accident, I had a little bit of a payout. So we did 2 weeks so we did Singapore.
I didn't even want to know about the type of shit you did in Thailand.
Fuck. We were pretty chill on this trip, but yeah, it was good. I probably had like 15, 16 massages.
Did you go to a ping pong show?
We did the first time, but
so that's your idea of a chilled...
No, that was the first time. Before not my wife and I didn't go to the ping pong show together this time. But, you know, previous time we did, and that can be left for another story. But
how's about me? I'm so updated, right? Outdated.
updated.
I can't believe I said that. Outdated. That my birthday is, by the time you're listening to this, it would have been 2 days before on the Friday.
Yep.
And we're going to the casino down the Goldie just for the night. And I'm like so outdated. I'm like, oh yeah, do you want to go stay at Jupiter's Casino? You have a look. It hasn't been fucking called that in a decade.
Yeah.
It's called fucking Star or something.
Wait, we'll be at the casino at the same time, but just different casinos.
Yeah.
I'll be at the Crown, you'll be at the Star.
Well, there's an R&B party.
Where? At the Star?
Yeah.
Oh my God, are you going?
So I'm just going to be throwing out West Sides and just...
Oh, okay, here's a fucking sidebar. So I thought I had my whole crew in the car. So new guy, other new guy, and Will. So we're fucking driving, and one of them goes, oh, it's Rusty. So I'm like out the window throwing fucking gang signs at him. It's not fucking Rusty, and everyone's just like, ah! I was like, oh, dude, this guy's just thinking I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you listen, man, West Side for lies. No, but yeah, we're fucking... Are you going to go away? You're going to go away and have a good time? You better come back.
Are you talking about on Friday night?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go, I'm hoping, punch all the orders out by lunchtime-ish.
Yeah.
Leave around 1. Gonna roll in at the Cass.
Have a slap, have a meal.
Well,
Go upstairs, have another slap.
In the Arvo, like, I'm kind of hoping to just chill out and maybe have a nap.
Yeah.
Wake up, go and have some dinner, go to this gangster party.
Yeah.
Come home.
Are you gonna have a gamble?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll play any card games. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really sort of know my way around them.
Definitely.
Or just
have a slap on the pokes.
oh, pokies, mate, fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
And then wake up, have some brekkie, come home.
Yeah,
so
nice.
That'll be cool.
Yeah,
looking
so
forward to that because it's school holidays now.
Yeah. So we just got the green light from Lou's mum and dad to fucking drop the kids and go for a midweek. So as soon as these guys are all up to scratch and ready to rock and roll by themselves, we're fucking out of here.
So it'd be interesting to hear if you guys take any holidays, whether that helps or
I don't
know, whether your
like
business
Greg Anderson, he takes structured holidays. I think he books the same cabin every year. Like we see him down at the same spot.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just never been a reality because at the village, we've got certain responsibilities that need to be taken care of on public holidays. You know, we can't employ extra staff to fill in those duties. So, as the owner of the business, you just got to do it. But that's all right. I'm in the zone in my life where it's like I just want to build something now.
Yep.
When I'm done and dusted, when I'm 40, and it's not cool to go to gangster parties and stuff anymore, I can go on my structured holidays then. My kids are a little bit older. So instead of asking for ice cream for every 2 minutes, you know, could be a different story. So thank you very much for listening. Yeah, there was a lot of meat on the bone.
it was a bit crazy, that one, but
let us know if we rambled too much.
Yeah, we got a bit personal, but that's what we do.
I don't know what else you do in a topic like this. Remember to leave us topic suggestions.
Yeah.
Now, massive thumbs up to Jack Hamilton. Today's topic was his suggestion.
Hope you get something out of it.
Yeah, hope you get something out of it because I don't think he has kids.
Yeah.
So we probably fucked that up. But at least you know that your life's going to get way worse when you've got kids.
You can't say that. Fuck.
But
raw and uncut.
Yeah. Hey man, it's just saying it like it is. It's a tough life out there, and
it's not necessarily worse. It's just busier.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Nah, neither would I.
Of course I wouldn't. But it's those challenges that we all go through. It's all a part of life.
That's it.
And you know, the situation is not unique to anyone.
No.
So whether you're in manufacturing and sales, or whether you're running a crew, whether you're a solo operator, it's pretty much all the same gig.
That's it.
So thank you very much for listening.
Fuck yeah.
Lots of meat on the bone today, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was. Boom.
Boom.
East side for life, y'all. Oh, he's fucking west side me.
All right. Thank you.
Peace.